Well, Lee Smith, we're looking forward to early next year, your latest book of nonfiction. It's a memoir called Dime Store.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's all about your life and growing up and what the things in your life that have led to your writing career. But I took it as something that could be used in a writing course. You give some good tips about.
I would hope so. I mean, I've taught writing too for 30 years, and it really has been my life. And I've been so privileged to know so many other writers and seen them go through whole projects and whole lives of writing and so on. And I feel like, we can talk about writing, specifically a novel or specifically a story, or we can just talk about writing as self-repair. Because, many times I think that publishing, for me, may be the last reason to write. It's just helpful for me to write things down on paper and then go back and read them. And I often don't know what I was thinking till I see what I wrote, and then it will eliminate a whole period of my life there. And I think writing is very important to us in many, many different ways.
In your memoir, you talk about your growing up experience and being surrounded by storytellers, and that sometimes you say, I'm not really a writer, I'm a storyteller.
Yeah, that's how stories come to me in a human voice, because that's how they were. I was really in a family of world-class storytellers, women too. The women and the men. The men were all in politics, of course, so you know something about that. So they were big talkers.
Yeah,
but they were all big talkers. So often it's a first-person narrators that I'm most comfortable with as a fiction writer.
Well, is storytelling a gift that is given to you, or is it something that you have to develop as your? What worries me is that you say, I'm a great storyteller, and I know that, which means, maybe some of the rest of us just don't have that gift, and we have to deal with the fact that we can't be a writer because we don't have Lee Smith's storytelling gift.
Oh, no. I think it's just, I really do think, in part, it is a Southern thing. And I know people from Massachusetts will be mad to hear this, and a rural thing. It's just there are parts of the country where people tend to talk a whole lot more, where if you ask directions, they won't just say go 2 blocks and turn left. They'll say, well, it's up there, where so-and-so used to live, and this and that, and they'll go on. And it's just a way of always transmitting even basic information in anecdote. And I think a whole lot of us grew up with that. And it's just something, I think it has to do with how you first hear language, really, and how much you hear.
Well, what about the rest of us? Can we learn this skill?
Oh, come on! You grew up that way too. You are a great storyteller, because you grew up that way. But certainly, I think so. Certainly, I think so.
What prescriptions do you give your students who didn't grow up in the South?
I think I've had many students who were wonderful writers who didn't necessarily grow up in such families and so on. But I think it's awfully important for anybody who would be a serious writer to read. And my biggest prescription is always to be like Match.com.
What do you mean?
I love to just match a young writer up with a book. Where somebody's experience, the writer in this book maybe somewhat had the same experience. Maybe the world of the fiction is going to be somewhat the same. How did this person do it?
You talk about introducing Silas House.
Silas House is one of my students, and when he started writing, he was from rural Kentucky, and he had some really rough experiences to write about, but he was so sweet. He just wrote sweet. And so I gave him the work of Larry Brown,
And that turned him around.
Right, Harry Cruz and some of these other people. Because, you got to find out, and it was so funny because then he was reading a review of one of Larry Brown's books in the New York Times, and he called me and he said, well, this reviewer says that this person is writing about a class of person you would never have dinner with. And he said, I've been eating with these people all my life. And he just then immediately started really telling, what things were like for him and for, that part of that part of the world.
Well, you just got me going. I can't wait to have you on Bookwatch. We'll talk some more about your memoir. In the meantime, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.